So welcome to the orientation for Diploma in Social Science Policing for both courses, the extended and the standard one. So we have 42 students. Now, question first for everyone here. Before I talk about your course and the units and any other stuff about Diploma in Policing, I just want to ask first, what is your course and what is your campus? Anyone? Does anyone? So what is your course? So there are two course codes here, 7168 and 6044. So do you guys know which course code that you belong to?
Yes, it's the first one. Hi.
So you are the first one now on?
Yes.
7168?
7168.
Thank you very much. Yes. Who else? What about your campus, Nawar?
I think it's all Bankstown.
You are Bankstown. So Bankstown, 7168. Yep. Anyone else here?
I'm 7168.
You all 7168 as well. And your campus, Henry?
Bankstown.
Bankstown as well. Yep. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, Grace, there's a couple of people have posted there.
Oh, okay. Yes. Can you read that? Yep.
Yeah, and Mustafa's not sure and he wants to know how does he find out?
Okay, all right. So if you're not sure, yes, you do have to check and I will tell you how to do it later. That's why this is my first question first. Your course code as well as your campus. Now, your next question, this is for everyone. Why did you choose this course?
I don't know.
Yes, Nawar?
Why did I choose this course?
Yes.
Because it seems like easy to me and
seems easy.
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
I think so.
Right. Okay. Who else? So Nawar says it's easy. Seems easy.
I got offered. That's why.
Is this did you choose policing, Henry?
Yeah.
Or
I chose as a preference in UAC.
yep. Why policing?
Because just wanted to try things out and hopefully want to join the force.
Right. So hopefully you can join the force. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
There's quite a few others that have responded, Grace, in the chat box that wish to pursue a career in law enforcement.
Law enforcement. Yep. Maybe any other reasons there, Mark, that you can see in the chat box?
Mainly law enforcement. What I can see, all law enforcement is focusing on police officers mainly, Grace.
Yeah. Okay, good. So you are then in the right course. Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Right. So yes, I would like to welcome you, and I will introduce myself as well as my colleagues here. So meet your coordinators and teacher. But before I introduce myself, I just want you to know that everyone here, okay, or each course at the college has a designated first year experience coordinator. Okay, so this is an academic staff member that teaches and understand the challenges that you students here, new students in particular, often face when transitioning into higher education. So your FYEC can help provide advice about your course. They can also refer you to relevant support services if you need further support. Or we can also discuss about strategies for your success in your studies. Okay, so you will have one FYEC. So for every course at the college, you will be assigned one FYEC. Or basically FYECs are your go-to support person at the college. So if you have any question at all, and if you are not sure, then the first person that you should go to will be your FYEC. And that's why I'm here. I am your first year experience coordinator at Bankstown campus. So some of you might be based at Nirimba. Some of you might be based at Pengsan campus. For those who are based at Pengsan campus, I will be your go-to person. I will be the first person to contact you if you have any questions about your course or about your studies or about the subjects or the units that you are doing. And these are my details, my email, as well as my phone number in my office. I will be available in my office Monday and Friday only. My office is at Pengsan campus. Okay, so that's me. For those who are based at Nirimba, your FYEC is to be confirmed. So your FYEC will be on maternity leave. So someone else is going to fill in her position. But if you have any inquiries, anything at all about your studies or maybe about your units, then please direct your inquiries or please email this address and someone will attend to your inquiry. Okay, so those based at Nirimba, if you have any questions about your courses or about your course or about your studies, in the meantime, please contact this, please just email this email address and someone will get back to you. Okay, at this stage, we are not sure who will be looking after you, but you will be soon assigned an FYEC for those based at Nirimba. So that's me. And the other coordinator that you should know, oh, sorry, before that, I'll just list, I make a list here when you should see your FYEC or when you should see me. So if you're struggling with your studies, for example, or if you're having personal or any family or medical issues that impact on your studies, then you should contact me. Or if you want to help with the units to enroll on a term-by-term basis, then I will be the person to help you with that. So if you're not sure what to enroll next term, for example, let me know and I can advise you. If you want to change your course, let's say suddenly you want to be or you want to focus on medical science instead of social science policing, you want to change into medical science, let me know and I will be able to refer you to the relevant FYEC. Or if you want to change campus, you should also contact me. If, fingers crossed, this doesn't happen to you, but just say you fail an assessment or you fail a subject or a unit. What do you need to do? What options do you have? Now, questions like this, you can ask me and you can direct the question to me and I should be able to advise you on what to do. If you need more information about extension or special consideration policy, or you need help with the application on how to apply for a special consideration, for example, you can also contact me. Or if you want to have a break from studies, or if you want or you need more information about counseling, disability or student welfare services, then I will be able to tell you more about it. So this is some of the areas that I'm responsible for and that you guys can ask me. However, there are some things that I can't help you with. And these are just among other things. For example, please don't ask me to proofread or edit your essay or assessment. Some students did that in the past. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't help you with that. I can't really amend or adjust your timetable. I can't remark your assessment. I can't submit your assessment on your behalf. I can't lodge a complaint on your behalf. Okay, I can tell you how to do it, but I can't do it on your behalf. And I am not in the position of approving or declining your extension request and or special consideration application. I can help you navigate the policy and procedures, but I won't be able to approve or decline your application. So this is so that you are aware of. There are some things that I won't be able to help you, but I'm still able to give you advice on what to do. So that's my role, and that's me here, your first year experience coordinator, and I will be assisting you throughout your studies with the college. So from term 1 all the way until you finish your course with the college. Now there is another person, another coordinator that you should also know of, Paul Rulon. So Paul is the Learning and Teaching Coordinator for Law Enforcement, Human Rights and Criminal Justice. And this is an old photo of Paul when he was still in the force, okay? So basically, Paul's responsibility is to make sure that you have classes, that you have teachers in your class, that any changes in the curriculum, he will be responsible for. Okay, so that's Paul's role. Anything about policy and procedures, maybe you should come and see me. But if, for example, you walk into a classroom or you walk into a Zoom session and there is no teacher, for example, then Paul should be able to explain it to you, or Paul will be or should be responsible to find you a substitute teacher. So he's basically the boss for this for your course, and he looks after all the units and the subject or the subjects that you are doing. So remember his name and remember his face, because he might be one of your teachers. So these two are the coordinators that you should know of. Now with me here, I also have two wonderful colleagues of mine. I will let them introduce themselves to you. We'll hand it over to Mark and Michael. Mark, over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Dr. Grace, and welcome, Michael. And ladies and gents, you're probably wondering who that clown is there on the screen. I know that you've just recently finished your studies at high school, and most of you aspire to become police officers. And as Mick will vouch for, policing is a very rewarding, satisfying career, but it does take its toll on you after a little while. That was me just when I was in sixth form, they call it in those days. I think it's year 12 now. And you'll see that I had a lot more hair there and hardly any hair now, of course. And the last 12 months, we've been teaching online and I think we've done all right. And we have a bit of fun in our classes. Yes, you need to learn, but also Mick and I and all the other staff, Grace, we try and make it as inclusive and enjoyable as possible. Hence, a couple of students in the last 12 months have actually drawn sketches of me doing Zoom classes. So I don't know which is the better, but I've certainly, you can see what policing does. Although Mick didn't seem to be affected too much by it, he's still got his hair. I show you this. This is you've perhaps heard of a family tree, and I suppose I'll make this point. We all come from different backgrounds. From all parts of the world, we all learn differently, and we all have different ways of learning and communicating. And here's a little bit about my background, although who's heard of the beer James Squires? Has anyone heard of that?
Yep.
Okay, so let me share a little secret with you, everyone. I'm a direct descendant of James Squire. You can see there, James Squire was the first brewer of beer in Australia. He was the first fleet convict. And his granddaughter, Elizabeth Bray, married my great-great-great-grandfather. So that's my claim to fame. That I suppose that's why I don't mind a beer very occasionally, but I suppose it's in my blood. But that's a little bit about me. And I was in the police for 27 years. I taught at the police academy, so I know what foundational knowledge you need to help you have a really good start in preparation for your studies for those that aspire to become police officers. And between us all, and Mick, I was only thinking this morning that between the teaching staff on our unit, we would have a combined experience of about 150 years in teaching and policing. We don't profess to know everything, but if we don't know the answer to something, we'll certainly find out for you, and we're here to help. So that's a little bit about me. Thank you, Grace, and welcome, ladies
Thanks,
and
Mark.
gents.
Yeah, so yeah, over to the next up. So your teachers who are here, one is Mark, who just told us a interesting story there. And the next one is Michael. Michael, can you show your face and introduce yourself?
Well, I'm showing my face. Hi, Dr. Grace. Hi, Mark. Hi,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Welcome to the orientation for what we just called, what I just call policing units. And congratulations on making a decision to possibly look at a career that will stand you in good stead. Now, Nawar tells me he thinks it looks pretty easy to do. That'll be interesting. I'll be interested to hear from Nawar at the end of the year whether he still thinks it's easy, or whether still, if he gets himself down to Goulburn, whether he thinks it's easy. But I'm sure he'll do well, because it's all about motivation. So can someone tell me, what is the starting wage for a New South Wales police officer?
Does anyone know?
Anyone know?
This is from someone who's been in the force for how many years, Michael?
Well, about 35.
35 years. Michael was in the force for 35 years. So does anyone know the answer to Michael's question?
Bailey's pretty close. Sophie's sort of kind of there.
Yep.
My lad's doing a pretty good job. Henry's on the money. Henry looks like a DJ. He's got all the gear happening. got the mic, got the earphones. He's very, very professional.
Yep.
Yeah, look, it's around between 73 to 75,000 a year. Okay, good money, real good money. 6 weeks leave, superannuation, long service leave, sick leave, free transport, public transport, free Maccas or half price Maccas. How good's that? All right. The point I make about that is, it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Okay. So, yeah, Adele's doing it for the Maccas. Lovely. Understand that.
Yes,
So
I'm
it's not
pretty
easy.
sure many of them, yeah.
Yeah, prisoner's meal. Oh, Amalia. How do you know that, Amalia? It's a prisoner's meal. You work at Macca's, you do. Well, I used to work at Auburn Police
Right,
Station,
yeah.
and we used to have our prisoners' meals. Our account was at Macca's at Auburn, and we used to go down there and pick up the prisoners' meals. And you know, every Greenacre McDonald's. Okay, all right. Okay, sorry, Macca's is half price. Yeah, that's right. It is half price.
You're right,
Okay.
Jess.
So the point I'm making is this. Okay, you will all do well, and you'll only do as well as you limit yourself. Okay. The teachers here are here to help you. Grace is here to steer you. She's our number one boy. She's our man. She knows all the practices and procedures. She knows it all. Okay, so if you have any dramas, you speak to Grace. But from a teaching perspective on day to day, you'll be dealing with people such as myself or Mark or other current or former police officers. All of them were sworn officers, right? So you're very, very fortunate. In fact, Mark mentioned in passing that he worked down at Goulburn. Yeah, he did. But he did a little bit more than work at Goulburn. He actually drew up the course or part of the course that you do in Goulburn as a recruit. So he knows what you need to do and how you need to do it to excel at Goulburn. I run a program called Policing Practices, which you'll do at the end of your units. It's the last term that you'll spend at the college before you leave us. And that is a policing-centric unit. It's all about policing. It's all about the practical aspects of policing. And much of what we do there prepares you directly for Goulburn in terms of understanding legislation and policing methodology and practicalities. So, you know, all I can say is it's a job that will be demanding. It's a job that will require you to apply yourselves, and the college is a great place to start that application, to start your journey. Now, policing isn't for everybody, and everybody isn't for policing. Okay? It's just the way it is. Some of you might start this and go, oh, this is not for me, I don't like this. I saw Sophie put in there that she was thinking about forensic psychology. you know, and absolutely, you know, psychology, the study of people, very, very important in policing. Because, I mean, that's who you're dealing with, let's face it, that's who you're interacting with. But Sophie might get into this and think, you know, I need to do more psych. Speak to Grace.
Mhm.
The beauty of the college is it gives you that flexibility once you start to be able to move within the disciplines. Okay? And that's what it gives you. And that's what Grace is an expert at doing, plotting your paths and plotting your futures. Mark,
Plotting the future.
yeah, plotting, yeah, absolutely.
Oh no.
No, you don't think you are, but you are, because you
Oh
help
no.
everyone, you know.
Their futures are in my hand, Michael.
That's a
Is that
frightening
what you're
thought, Grace.
saying?
That is a very frightening thought, but it's the truth, because Grace will tell you about your progression and your units that you have to enrol in. But the policing, the benefits of our policing program right across our units here is there is a very, very real practical application. So there's a mix or a melding of theory and practice together.
Mhm.
Okay? And the reason I ask how many people know what you're up for is think about it. You want to apply to join the cops, you want to be in the cops, you know, you got to know about it. You got to know what you're getting into. And people sit there and go, oh, geez, I don't know how much it is, and I don't know about the conditions, and I'm not sure. What does that tell me? That tells me that maybe you need to do some more work on it once you enrol, and maybe we need to familiarise you more with it.
Do more research, yeah.
A little bit more research, a little bit more background on it. Okay. But anyway, that's enough from me. Can anyone hear him? Yeah, I hope they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else can.
Yeah.
You come late.
Thanks a lot, Michael.
All right.
Look, so Michael and Mark, they're just two of your teachers. You know, you just for your information, your teachers are all suitably qualified, and they have vast experience in teaching and in their respective fields. Trust me. So you will have someone like Michael and Mark who have been in the force for decades. You will also have someone who is an expert in psychology, in social work, or in education. So that's me. So my area is actually not in policing, but it's mostly in education. But I will know about your studies and your course or the unit that you will be doing. Now, Michael and Mark will answer policing related questions later if you have any. So anything about any question about recruitment, for example, I will give some time later for these two gentlemen to address the questions, okay? Now, before I move to the next slide, just very quick questions, if any.
Why is everyone here over 25, Grace?
What is it? Sorry, Michael?
One of the questions is why everyone here is over 25.
How come everyone is... I'm pretty sure many of you are 17 and 18, yeah? Well,
There's a lot of
Michael, Mark, and
yeah.
I, we are definitely over 25.
That's right, they're all young, which is good. Good, get a good start. And just before you go any further, Grace, I just want to steal your thunder and say that to all of them, all of our students, and Mark, I think, will agree with me, if you are keen to join law enforcement, if you are keen to join the police, there has never been a better time than to apply to join the New South Wales Police than now.
Good news.
To prepare yourself. The government has committed funding. They have increased the intakes in Goulburn. There are more classes, and they've changed the processes around significantly to make it easier for people to join and or to study. So you're in the right place at the right time.
That's good news, Michael. Right, thank you. Now, onto the, course structure, onto the boring part, okay? So I'll give some time for you to ask questions about policing or the force later, but let's just deal with your course structure first. Now, I asked you about your course code, whether you belong to 7168 or 6044. The reason being is because the course structure for these courses are different. Okay, so you should know what you are enrolled in. if you are enrolled in 7168, this means you will be doing 4 terms with the college or 16 months. Okay, and this is the structure. So that's how we are kind of like plotting the subjects or the units that you should be doing each term. So you are now in term 1. And these are the subjects, or we call them units here. These are the units that you must enroll in your first term. That's your homework later to check whether or not you have enrolled in the correct units. Essential skills for academic success, understanding academic life, intro to human behavior, and intro to Australian law enforcement. Mark will be teaching this unit. So you will see, some of you will probably see Mark in one of his classes. Yeah. So for those doing 7168, this will be the structure of your course. So you will be doing 4 terms with the college, term 1, term 2, 3, and 4. If you look at this, we call this a pattern of study. So your pattern of study. If you look at this pattern of study, in your first term, the units that I listed here are of different colors. So they are in gray boxes, and the rest are in white boxes. Now, what it means is, in your first term, you will only be doing what we call prep unit. So all of these units in your first term are prep units. These units will prepare you, hence the name, your prep unit, to be ready with the higher level units, which you will be doing in term 2, 3, and 4. So for example, your prep unit, essential skills for academic success, will help you or will assist you in, for example, researching, or in doing reading journal articles, or in referencing, for example, any skills that you will need in writing your essays or in writing your assessment in your university level units. This will be taught in your first term. Introduction to Australian law enforcement. Mark, maybe you can give us a bit of a brief overview of this unit will prepare the students for.
Thanks, Grace.
Michael, yep.
Thanks, Grace. Ladies and gents, Mick and I and our other experienced teachers, you're introduced to what we call foundational knowledge on law enforcement, with a particular focus on New South Wales policing and other intrastate policing, as well as you learn a little bit about international law. And you'll see in the post, in the chat room, I asked a question, how many of you undertook legal studies at school? Only because you'll be introduced to the concepts of law, how it's made. And then as you progress through this unit, we'll drill down on several of the key pieces of law that New South Wales police officers apply on a daily basis. And then when you get to term 4, and that's the unit that Mr. Taylor coordinates, we, and Mick will talk about that shortly, but this is to prepare you for what you will learn here. But more importantly, I think, is that at the end of the day, what I've found, and Mick will vouch for this, is that people who later become police officers who have undertaken and passed this diploma course find the study at Goulburn far, far easier, because you have a foundational knowledge of the key laws, such as when you can arrest somebody or when you can search somebody. So you're in front of the rest of them as far as that's concerned. And I like to think it's fairly fairly engaging. Your teaching staff are pretty well laid back. We've been there and done that as far as policing. We've taught, so we know how to prepare you for that. We have a very high pass rate for those who attend lectures and workshops. For those that don't, well then you do that at your own risk. And I know someone's posed a question about fitness. Perhaps Mick or Grace can look at that. But we're all here to help you. And the first thing you hear in week 1 is all about assessments. And Mick and I and Grace have studied extensively. And that's the last thing you want to hear about. But it's important to know. And I'm old school. I'm going to show my age. I've got a police diary. I actually handwrite dates in my diary because I don't rely on phones or any other type of device that requires charging. And that's just me. I'm old school. But I think a lot of the younger one nowadays tend to use that as well. It just serves as a ready reckoner. But with the assessment tasks, they're designed to help you pass. There's plenty of resources. As Grace has mentioned, your first, your FYEC, but there's online, and you'll learn about the online learning support as well. But you'll find it interesting, and the pass rate's quite high for those people who attend. So welcome aboard, and thanks, Grace.
Thank you, Mark. And I'll just grab another unit here, Introduction to Human Behavior. From the name, you'll know that this will introduce you to concepts of psychology. And this will set up the foundation for the higher level units, such as the individual in society or understanding society. So you will have learned the concepts and the theories of psychology in Introduction to Human Behavior. And that's just the prep units that you will need to learn before moving to the higher level units. This is for those who are enrolled in 7168. Some of you might be enrolled in 6044. Now this one here is a 3-term course instead of 4 terms. So it's shorter, only for 12 months. And this is the structure or the pattern of study for 6044 students. So for those who are enrolled in the 6044, you do not have to do the first term units. So you will only have one prep unit, namely the academic English. Everything else here are university level units. Your homework is the same. You have to make sure that you have enrolled in the correct unit. So you will be doing 3 units or 3 subjects in your first term. And these are the subjects. AE, Introduction to Criminal Justice. I think Michael teaches this unit, and the individual in society. And if you are not certain, I can help you check whether or not you have enrolled in the correct units. Okay, any question first about your pattern of study or the structure of your course? I'll just check.
That's right, Oliver, within My Student Records.
Yes, that's correct, in My Student Record. Yep.
That's right, when you're enrolled. That'll indicate what classes. It'll also tell you whether your classes, Grace, is probably important. We've mentioned whether they're face-to-face or online.
Yep. They're mostly online. I will. There's a slide on that.
Okay, sorry.
Maybe one class for each unit, but many of the classes here are still online. Hopefully, we will return to face-to-face full time next term. Hopefully.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'll just continue on. So yeah, just please make sure that you have enrolled in the correct units and have selected your classes or your tutorials. If you haven't finalized your timetable, make sure that you do it as soon as possible before the new term or before the term starts on Monday next week. These are the expectation and requirements. Yes, most classes will be online. So it is expected that you will have a device and stable internet connection. If you do not have any stable internet connection, or if you're relying on your mobile hotspot or your mobile data, you can consider using the university Wi-Fi in the library or the study halls across all campuses. And they are all open. So you can go to, if you are based at Bankstown, or if Bankstown is your closest campus, go to Bankstown and you can use the study hall or the library for the free Wi-Fi so that you can connect to your tutorial or your classes. Your study load, you will study, most of you will study full-time. Full-time here means that you will be doing minimum 3 units per term. And that will be between 12 and 20 hours per week. For those doing 7168, I have counted, you will be studying 19 hours per week. And for those enrolled in 6044 for your first term, you will be studying for 14 hours per week. So if you check your timetable, you'll see the allocation. If you feel that it is too much of a load for you, let's say you're doing 4 units and it's just too much because you have other commitments, or you have possibly full-time work, or you need to care for a family member, or you are a parent and you need to reduce your study load, please let me know, or please contact me so that I can advise you what units that you should drop and what units that you should keep. Our expectation and your responsibility is here for you to check email, and this should be your student email, not your personal email. Always check the unit view site. I will show you a screenshot of the view site and what it looks like. We also expect that you do your reading prior to tutorials, so you can contribute in class discussion. And participate in class, submit assessment on time, of course, and also be familiar with video conferencing services or platforms that we will use during the term. We will be using mostly Zoom platform. However, if you are doing essential skills or academic English, you might be using Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is embedded in your view site. Okay, so how do you find out about which platform to use? Well, check your student email. Your teachers will email you before your classes next week, letting you know how to access those platforms and which platform that they will be using. Question first. You might be a bit overwhelmed with all this information. So if you have any question about the delivery or the units that you will be doing, or the length of your study, then yes, feel free to ask question anytime. No question? No? Let me just check the chat. Yep, thank you, Mark, for that. So there are no prescribed texts, so everything will be on your view site. Ali Yatim, yes, that is correct. If the timetable doesn't have a room, it is online. In which case, you do have to check your email sometime this week. Your teacher or your tutor will definitely tell you what platform and how to access it. Okay. Oops, sorry. Someone mentioned about my student portal or my student record. So I suggest that you have a look at this, or you access this My Student Portal. This is a one-stop for all, very important for you. If you want to enroll, this is where you have to go. If you want to confirm your timetable, this is where you have to go. If you want to check your email, this is where you want to go. Okay, so basically everything is here. If you want to check your results, check your My Student Portal. Okay, so it's very important for you to check this portal to get up any updates, or to maybe check any emails, important emails from your teacher, or to access the unit view sites. Okay, now view sites. I don't know if you have got a chance to actually log into this site. Can anyone tell me if you have ever logged into the site? No? Okay. So what it is this is your student management learning platform. So all your units can be accessed via what we call it a views site. And how do you log in into view site? You just have to go to Western Sydney website, and you'll see views, and you just click on it, and you put in your credential and your password, and it will take you to your site. And this is what it looks like. So this is my views. Yours will look different. And on your left hand side here, you will see the sites for the units that you are currently enrolled in. If you are enrolled in 3 units, you will see 3 different sites for 3 different units. And if you want to check the information about the unit, or maybe the learning outcomes, or any information about a particular assessment task for that unit, then the first thing that you have to do is to click on that unit. Okay, so I suggest that before the new term starts, maybe on Friday, sometime this Friday, click on your view site and have a look at the units and the content for each unit and what it looks like, just so that you are familiar with this platform. Okay, so that's the landing page on your view site. If you click, for example, if you click one of the units listed here, this is what the landing page will look like. So I clicked on essential skills for academic success, and this is the information that I will see from my end. And on your left hand side here, there are different there are menus here. So for example, you want to know about the learning guide, the deadline for an assessment task, for example. You can click on the learning guide, and it will tell you or it will direct you to the information that you're trying to find. If you want to know the weekly content for a particular unit, then you can always click on the weekly content here, and it will give you the PowerPoint slides or any reading for that particular week. So everything is in here in your view site. That's why our suggestion is to regularly check this site and make sure that you are familiar with how to navigate the site, and how to actually find or to do have a look at the content, and to do research on your assessment tasks. And that is the learning guide, the unit outline and learning guide, where you can find information about the assessment tasks, the due date, the description of each assessment task, as well as the learning outcomes for the unit. Okay, now key dates. Your first term with the college will start next Monday. That's going to be your first week 1 of the term. And the census date, where you have to finalize your enrollment and where you have to, the final date for you to supply your tax file number, will be on Wednesday, March 31st. Now, you have to really make sure that you are aware of this date, because you know, basically this is the date for you to finalize the enrollment or to finalize your units. You can no longer add or drop units after census. And make sure that you have supplied your tax file number. If you haven't, then you have to pay your fees upfront. So this is something that you can ask the Student Central team about. And then you will have a break. The midterm break will be from April 19 to April 25. It's going to be for 1 week, the break. And term 1 will start again on Monday, April the 26th. And it will go all the way to the 4th week of May, week 12. And then week 13 is the exam week, non-teaching. So you don't have to come to any tutorial. It's only for final exam. And then you will have a break for about 3 weeks before you return to your second term with the college. So these are the key dates. Question first. No questions? Okay. Now, for the career outcomes, I guess Mark and Michael can give you more insights on the career options if you want to, or when you do, or after you complete this course. So these are just the things that we managed to list here. So if you can just have a look at the career options. And by the way, they are not limited to this list, okay? But then if you want to ask more specific questions, you can direct your question to either Mark or Michael. They should know more about the highlights of this course in terms of career choice or option. Mark and Michael, do you want to add?
Yeah. Over to you, Mick.
Yep.
Well, look, what I would say is, I'll probably repeat what I said earlier, in that policing may not be for everyone, everyone may not be for policing, which, you know, that is one of the facts of life. So the beauty of this course is that even though it's a policing, there's a focus on policing, it's a law enforcement generalist approach. So you might note there that there's a whole range of options on the slide in front of you there. We talk about corrective services, border protection, intelligence, which is ASIO, child protection, maybe DOCS or FACS, probation, parole, corrective services, state police, interstate police, federal police. The gamut is far and wide. Think of everything that has some sort of a law enforcement input or some sort of impact upon what you do every day in your lives. And this course gives you that basic understanding, and particularly Mark's unit. I teach on that too, Intro to Australian Law Enforcement. You'll get a fairly generalist introduction to the law enforcement landscape and what you'll actually do and not do. And as I said, there'll be things that you might look at and go, this is for me, this is not for me. I think I saw Mohsen say something about if you've got a police record or a criminal record, will that impact on you? The answer to that very simply is yes. If you've got a criminal record, depending on the nature of that matter, you probably will not be eligible to join most law enforcement agencies, depending on the nature of it. Mm-hmm. Similarly, if you've got a bad driving record, you can expect that they will not look favourably on your application if you've got a bad driving record involving Kieran. I think that would be only, Kieran might be replying to Mosen saying he needs to have a look at the impacts of a criminal record. Oliver's come up with a good idea. Yes, you can contact police recruitment, that's fine. In fact, my unit has a live link to police recruitment and police Facebook on it. So you're always able to go on and have a look at what's happening organisationally and professionally. But yes, if you've got a criminal history, you will have a problem joining most law enforcement agencies. If you are the subject of an AVO, there is a 10-year moratorium on you. You cannot join for 10 years. You're excluded from joining the New South Wales Police for 10 years. Okay. There's also some other issues around driving. Milad has asked what a background check is. A background check is performed by police recruitment upon your application. So if you want to join, they don't just accept the fact that Milad wants to join the cops this week. They then go and have a bit of a look at what Milad's history is. They'll look at whether he has any criminal records, what his driving records are. Is there any police intelligence holdings about Milad? Has he come to adverse notice before? Some law enforcement agencies review your social media use and posts. Okay, so it's quite invasive.
What about family background check, Mark or Michael?
Family background checks. I look at it this way. If you're a member of a family or there is a member in your family who is adversely known to police, that is not you. We all have, there's an old saying, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Okay? So you may have a family or a family member that has been in jail or is in jail or is well known to police or might be a member of a criminal group, say outlaw motorcycle gang or something. You need to declare that. Where you get into trouble, because you will be asked that in your application, where you will get into trouble is if you write no, because they will find out. Somewhere along the line, they will find out. And the question will then be asked, why didn't you tell the truth? The key to the whole thing is, if there is a family member that is adversely known, you need to declare that, and the organisation can then manage that as a risk. And what does that look like? Well, it might be as simple as you might have a brother who's in jail for, I don't know, for being a member of the Banditos and selling speed, cooking speed. That's fine. We know that. The organisation will manage that, and you probably won't be working in investigations involving motorcycle gangs. Or if you've got a father who is, I don't know, currently before the courts for domestic violence and they live in the, I don't know, Bankstown area, well, there's a fairly good chance that you as a young officer may not be stationed in the Bankstown area, so that you don't have the unfortunate situation of having to deal with or manage those problems on a familial basis. But it's all about managing risk for the organisation. Just because a member of your family is adversely known or has a criminal history does not preclude you from joining the organisation. But you need to be forthright in that. You need to say that. I saw a couple of people saying, what's this about social media? Of course they monitor your social media. Absolutely. Right? Of course they do. Because your social media, we always say in our class, you don't put anything on social media that you don't want your parents to see. Because once you do, you lose control over it. There is a policy on the New South Wales Police online about social media usage and what they expect. And in very short, sharp terms, it means that there is no such thing as a private post. Cutting through all the paperwork and all the nerd language, it comes down to this. You're a police officer and you post certain things online and you make it obvious that you are a police officer, you are then representing the organisation. you'll be monitored. They do monitor social media posts and social media groups. Certain things Ali might be a photo of Ali at a party snorting a white line of powder. Not a good
That's
look,
true.
Ali. There might be a photo of Jake driving around in his car, driving through the harbour tunnel with a selfie and the camera on the speedo, and he's doing 220 through the tunnel. Not a good look, Jake, because you're going to go to work the next day and book someone for speeding.
That's true.
Okay, so yeah, come on, Jake, that's exactly right, Bailey.
But if it is a selfie with your girlfriend or boyfriend, that should be okay.
Harmless stuff, not a problem. Not a problem. But if you put stuff on there, and we're all big boys and girls, right? Just think about this. They're going to give you a gun. They're going to give you a baton. They're going to give you spray. They're going to give you a taser. Try not to give it to idiots. Okay? And therefore, we all know what's good and what's bad, what's right and what's wrong.
Mm.
Okay? So it's just about exhibiting some common sense and being professional in your approach to everything, because this is a career for you all, and it's a great career, and you've got the opportunity to do a great course to get into that career. Just don't sell
That's
yourself
right,
short.
yeah.
Okay? Just don't sell yourself short, because
Hey, Mick, what?
yes,
Sorry,
mate.
Mick, just adding to that, what Mick said, ladies and gents. Mick's gone to court plenty of times, as have I, and lawyers fight very dirty sometimes. And what they do, they can sometimes subpoena your own records to discredit you, such as Facebook posts, Instagram, Snapchat. Solicitors are known and have subpoenaed everything bar the kitchen sink. So just be mindful of that. You've got to just be mindful of that. Mick and I didn't really have to worry about that when we were cops, because in those days we had typewriters and homer pigeons.
No,
to,
Facebook, nothing, huh?
No, nothing at all.
Same with, I also mentioned, raised while we talk about it, your driving. Your driving must be real. Your driving record needs to be good. Everyone makes mistakes, and the organisation looks at that. But if you've got a situation where you've got multiple speeding offences, or driving without a licence, or driving unregistered or uninsured, that will not be looked on favourably. There's also a policy called body art modification policy, right? What does that mean? Tattoos. Okay, be careful about tattoos. Why Mark and I and Grace tell you this stuff is, don't come to the college, do all this hard work, work really good, excel, be great students, and all of a sudden, you know, you go down there, you've got the world's worst driving record because you get pulled up running late for class every week and get booked. Or you put stupid stuff on social media. Tattoos are the same. Guys, ladies, you can have your tattoos, but you just can't have certain types of tattoos, and you can't have them in certain places. For example, no tattoos on the face, no tattoos on the hand, no tattoos on the neck, all right? And no tattoos across your knuckles of ACAC or Hell's Angels Forever, or all that, or skull and crossbones and all that stuff that people put on, okay? Because it's not acceptable as an organisation, and there are policies in place. I don't want to scare you. I just want to say, guys and girls.
Yeah, and it's all there, black and white, right? It's written there, isn't it?
That's right, and that's why the policies are there. And you guys are going to work so hard to get to the end of this and think to yourself, you know, I'm right to go. All we want to say is don't cruel yourself by, you know, making a mistake with the driving, getting a stupid tattoo, putting something stupid on Facebook, or saying something stupid like that. Well, I've got students down in Goulburn now, actually, and, you know, studying at Goulburn, and just recently come out there at different stations in Western Sydney. They love it. They're absolutely loving it. Not easy, but they're loving it. But don't cruel your own opportunities, you know, like you've got so many chances here. I never had the opportunity to do the study and the courses that you guys are going to do before I went in. I just went to Redfern Police Academy, and they just let you loose after a few weeks. Okay, not like you guys, where you're going to understand not only what happens, but why. It's a great
Mm.
opportunity. Just don't sell yourself short. That's all I say here. That's all.
Very wise advice from this wise gentleman here who have been in the force for more than 30 years. Okay, so I hope it's useful advice for you guys. Thanks, Mark and Michael. Now I'll give you some time later for a further question and answer session, if any. If you still have any question about policing related matters, yeah. Okay, just move on. Look, these are the services available for you guys here. So I'm pretty sure this will be posted in your view site. So I'm not going to ask you to try to memorize all of this, but just in case you need to be referred to well-being services, for example, and you can't remember the contact number or the email address, let me know. Or if you need to deal with your Zoom or with your views and you need IT support and you're not sure who to contact to, especially for new students here, then I can also help you with that. I can refer you to the IT support team, for example. Or if you need support, if you have any disabilities and you need adjustment or support, let me know. I can also refer you to the right person or give you the email address to contact the team member. So these are the services available for you. And yeah, Student Life, check your Western Life here on campus and online. So you have virtual games or even cooking, I think, online cooking. Check it out to keep you sane, okay, to get you connected and to have this sense of belonging. Okay, and stay connected. If you need to talk to the Student Central team member, just ring that 1300 number, or you can email them, or if you are not sure, you can also email me and I should be able to direct you to the right service.